Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. It's Monday, August 31st, and this is your afternoon update with the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Thank you very much for choosing to be here to get filled in on what's impacting you in Northeast Ohio. Here's what we'll talk about for you this afternoon. People who are responsible for the matter have said that the NFL draft is still on the books to happen here in Northeast Ohio in 2021. We'll tell you what we know about that and why people are looking optimistically at that event to happen at the end of April next year. Also, in what could be a big move for the entertainment industry, bouncing back here in Ohio, there's a casting call in Sandusky, Ohio, for something that will be shot in December. We'll let you know how you can get cast in it. Also, there was a 911 call recently reporting the kidnapping of a Strongsville woman. Now, that woman has been found and she is okay, but we do have that 911 call and it was very frantic. So we'll tell you what we know about that as the police are still investigating that case. And we'll take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. And that's where we'll start. The U.S. has now broken more than 6 million cases of COVID-19 reported, dating back to when we first became aware of COVID-19 being in the U.S. However, here in Ohio, we saw less than 900 new daily reported cases, which is down from what we've been seeing. So that's a positive piece of news for you there related to COVID-19 here in Ohio. Let's break down those numbers. In the last 24 hours, there have been 895 new reported cases of COVID-19. That brings the total number of cases to 123,157. The Ohio Department of Health reports that just under 103,000 of those cases are presumed to be recovered, so that's about 83%. Now, a word on this number here. I had been flipping that number around and telling you about how many were presumed to be active at this time. Something I hadn't been doing was subtracting the deaths. So I've adjusted that number. Now we know that there are just over 16,000 that are presumed to be active right now after you adjust for the deaths out of that total number. So about 13% of the COVID-19 cases are presumed to be active right now, according to the Ohio Department of Health data. Our positivity rating is now at 4.4%. So for all of the COVID-19 cases, all of the testing that's being done, 4.4% coming back as positive based on the most up-to-date information from the Ohio Department of Health. That's down from Sunday when the positivity rating was 4.6%, and we are now below that World Health Organization recommended threshold of 5%. So good news there. Now, in the last 24 hours, there have been 10 new deaths reported, bringing the total number of deaths to now 4,138 here in Ohio. There have been 59 new hospitalizations reported in the last 24 hours, and there are now a total of 774 people who are actively hospitalized. Of those 774 people who are in the hospital, 244 of them are in the intensive care unit. So those people actively being treated in the ICU right now, and we've seen 7 new ICU admissions in the last 24 hours. Our statewide hospital bed occupancy rate is at 68%, so that leaves 32% of the hospital beds in the state open for people who need treatment here in Ohio. Now let's take a look at the U.S. and the global COVID-19 numbers. These come from Johns Hopkins University. The U.S. has now broken 6 million reported cases of COVID-19. That exact number is now 6,009,899 cases that have known to have occurred of COVID-19 in the U.S. There have also been 183,258 reported deaths from COVID-19 in the U.S. So since Friday, that's a total of 2,072 new reported deaths over the weekend. Our U.S. population is 4.2% of the global population, and the percentages are still holding strong. Even with 4.2% of the population, we have 24% of the global cases of COVID-19 and 22% of the known global deaths related to COVID-19. The total number of deaths globally is now at 847,400, and the total number of cases globally is now at 25,300,389. Now let's talk about the case of the Strongsville woman who was reportedly kidnapped. It was her son who called into 911. Now the woman has been found and she is okay. Police are continuing to investigate it, but the circumstances around what the son said happened are particularly interesting, and we're learning that from the 911 call because police have not released a lot of information related to this because of the sensitive nature of the investigation. So the son called dispatchers and said that he had gotten a text with a picture of his mother ordering him to come up with $500,000 in 3 hours or they would kill the woman. He told the dispatcher he had no idea why someone would kidnap his mother and was crying uncontrollably in the call. If you'd like to hear that 911 call audio, we have that on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Now, the woman was located and reunited with her family the next day. Strongsville Police Department does say, due to the sensitive nature of the ongoing investigation, they are not revealing any other details at this time. So you can find that on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Now, here in Northeast Ohio for football fans, something that was very exciting to learn was that the NFL draft was announced to be held here in downtown Cleveland next year in 2021, and David Gilbert, president and CEO of Destination Cleveland and also the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, says that plans for that are full steam ahead at this point. Now, talking about the Sports Commission, Gilbert did tell our 3 News' Dave Chudowski that 7 out of 10 national events that were to be hosted this year had canceled, but Gilbert thinks, thankfully, all of those and others by the end of the year will have firm commitments for future years for those events to be held here in Cleveland. So Gilbert says that Cleveland is well positioned to bounce back when large events do begin happening again. Gilbert says Cleveland has become one of the top places in the country for hosting major sporting events, and they expect that to continue for sure. He said right now it's full steam ahead for a live event in Cleveland. Potentially a very large in-person but socially distanced event taking place the end of next April down on our lakefront. So that's in reference to the NFL draft, which will be happening at the end of April next year. He also said things are beginning to look up for other future sporting events as we learn to live with COVID-19, and that Cleveland is well positioned to welcome more travelers who are taking short trips and less flying, because he says that's been Cleveland's bread and butter when it comes to visitors traveling into the area, those short trips, not necessarily people flying in. Here's something that's good news for the film industry. There's a short film that is being set to be produced here in Sandusky. It's coming from Jonathan Perry. Now, if you remember last year, we learned of Jonathan Perry when he became the youngest filmmaker ever to land a film on any major streaming service. He did that at the age of 17 with his movie Subnivian. Subnivian means to be submerged below snow. So that movie at the age of 17, that got picked up by Amazon Prime Studios. Well, now he has a new short film that he's working on. It's called CROOKERY, and he's bringing that to the Sandusky area, which is where he's from. So he's 19 now, got a few more years under his belt, and this short film will be set to be produced in December, and the casting is happening right now. So Perry says that the story is an ordinary family falsely defending their home against 2 intruders trying to break in, but the truth lies in the real criminal trying to break out. So that short film is set to begin production in December in the Sandusky, Ottawa County area. Here's who they're looking for. They're looking for physically fit males and females between the ages of 25 and 45, and females between the ages of 7 and 12. So if you're interested in that, you need to send a full body photo with your name and your age and your email address. The email is casting@crookerymovie.com, or you can just text the word casting to 22454. We've got all those details on WKYC.com. Casting is open right now through midnight on September 22nd. So that includes all of September 22nd. So really 11:59 p.m. that night. And the casting is being done by Will F. Moore. One more thing here before we let you go. We know everyone is going back to school around this time, whether that's remotely or in person, and we want to see your back to school photos. Please share those with us. You can text them to 216-344-3300. You can also comment on our social media pages or post using the hashtag #BeOn3, the number 3, not spelled out, or you can send it to us in the Near Me feature on the WKYC app. Just open up the app. You'll see it right there in the bottom right-hand corner. Super easy to do, and then we can share your family's back-to-school photos with the rest of our viewers here in Northeast Ohio, because it's certainly something to celebrate as we start another year even though we are in this very strange time. And it should be documented. We are going to want to look back on this one day when we are through it, for sure. That is it for your 3 News Now afternoon update for Monday, August 31st. I'll see you next on What's New at 5 p.m. with your trending stories, which you can stream for free in the WKYC app just by opening up the app and clicking Watch right next to the Near Me button. If you've used that before, you'll find it very easily and very simply. And then I'll see you back here tomorrow for 3 News Now. Everyone enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you tonight on What's New. I'm Stephanie Haney.